The cold wind howled through the cemetery, carrying with it the scent of fresh earth and fallen leaves. Jacob Sterling, a billionaire whose name was synonymous with wealth and power, stood before the marble headstone of his only son, Ethan. His hands trembled as he placed a bouquet of white lily on the grave, his throat tightening. It had been exactly 5 years since that tragic accident, the day his world crumbled. Ethan had been his pride, his joy, the one thing money couldn't replace. But fate had been merciless. A drunk driver had stolen his boy's life, leaving Jacob drowning in guilt and loneliness. He had spent years burying himself in work, trying to escape the pain, but nothing ever filled the void. As he stood in silence, lost in his grief, a soft sniffle caught his attention. His brows furrowed as he turned to find a frail girl, no older than 10, huddled beside the gravestone. She was wrapped in a tattered coat, her bare feet peeking out from under a ragged dress. Her blonde hair was tangled, and her face, though smeared with dirt, bore an unmistakable innocence. Jacob hesitated before speaking, his voice gentle but firm. "What are you doing here, sweetheart?" The girl flinched, hugging herself tightly. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I didn't mean to bother you." His heart clenched at the fear in her voice. He knelt beside her, lowering his tone. "You're not bothering me, but why are you here? Are you lost?" She shook her head. "No. I come here a lot. I thought I talked to Ethan." Jacob's breath caught in his throat. "You knew my son?" The girl nodded slowly, her lips quivering. "He was my friend." His mind raced. Ethan had been a kind-hearted boy, always eager to help those in need. But how had he befriended a homeless child? "What's your name?" he asked softly. "Lily," she replied, shivering. Jacob took off his coat and draped it over her small shoulders. "Lily, how did you know Ethan?" She hesitated, as if afraid to say too much. "He used to come to the park near the school," she finally said. "Sometimes he'd bring me food. He'd sit and talk to me when no one else would. He thought he told me I mattered." Jacob's vision blurred with tears. This was the part of Ethan's life he had never known, the part that had nothing to do with wealth or privilege. His son had carried kindness in his heart, something Jacob himself had long forgotten. "Where are your parents?" he asked carefully. Lily's expression darkened. "My mom thought she got sick, and then she was gone. My dad," she looked away. "He left a long time ago." Jacob felt his chest tighten. "You're alone," she nodded. "I sleep in an old bus behind the church. It's not so bad." The thought of this small girl braving the cold, hungry and alone, shattered something inside him. "Lily, why do you come here to see Ethan?" She took a deep breath, then looked up at him with wide, tear-filled eyes. "Because he told me something before he died." Jacob's pulse quickened. "What did he say?" He said, "If I ever needed help, if I ever felt scared, I should find his dad." "Because you'd help me." A sharp gasp left Jacob's lips. His hands clenched into fists, his entire body trembling. Ethan had believed in him, even in his last moments. And yet, for 5 years, Jacob had done nothing but bury himself in loneliness. Tears streamed down his face as he cupped Lily's small hands in his own. "You're coming with me," he said, his voice thick with emotion. "No more sleeping in an old bus. No more being alone." Lily's lower lip trembled. "But why?" "Because you matter to Ethan," Jacob whispered. "And that means you matter to me." A sob broke from the little girl's throat as she launched herself into his arms. Jacob held her tightly, realizing in that moment that Ethan had given him a second chance, not to bring his son back, but to honor him by saving someone he loved. That night, for the first time in years, Jacob didn't feel alone. As he tucked Lily into a warm bed in his mansion, he sat beside her, holding her tiny hand. She was no longer just a homeless girl, she was family. And in the quiet of the night, he whispered a promise to Ethan. "I'll take care of her, son. I'll make sure she never feels alone again." And in his heart, he swore he could hear Ethan's voice, soft and full of warmth. "Thank you, Dad."